what's difficult about being an entrepreneur is that, well, there's a lot of things. It's a roller coaster
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. And, you feel kind of alone and there's a lot of fear. Um, when you have a 9 to 5 job and you work for somebody else, everything is given to you. You get the job description, you get the name tag, you get the business cards, you get the paycheck, you get a desk, a phone. I mean, you get a parking space, all of it. And all you have to do is show up and they tell you what to do and you do it and you get paid.
Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Christy Yoder, host of the Master Delegator Podcast. The Master Delegator Podcast is for busy and overwhelmed entrepreneurs who want to learn how to become effective in the area of delegation and learn how to hire great virtual assistants to help them scale their business and have more time and freedom. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to click the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. All right, let's get started. Hey, in this episode of the Master Delegator Podcast, I got a chance to interview Tracy Beavers. Tracy has more than 20 years experience in sales and marketing. As the owner of 3 businesses, she understands the roller coaster of entrepreneurship. She loves sales, she loves networking, and she wants you to love it as well. Tracy's corporate career has spanned several industries, including insurance, lending, real estate, and sales. Throughout her careers, one fact remained constant. Her love of people and her passion to help them win. Her ability to build relationships with others and listen to their needs is the bedrock of her success in sales. And as a business and sales coach, Tracy enjoys helping small business owners scale to their next level with a clear roadmap of success. She is a public speaker, a published author, has been featured on top business podcasts, and is a regular contributor on one of her hometown's premier TV shows. In this episode, we talk about a lot of things. She shared her different 3 businesses, the struggles she had when she was starting her first business, and also, of course, we talked about, what is the best thing to delegate to someone and why you should delegate, to a virtual assistant or to your team member. She has provided a lot of unique insights and I really enjoyed my interview with her and I'm sure that you are going to love our interview or my interview with her as well. All right, so let's welcome Tracy. Hey Tracy, thank you so much for showing up today. I know we had a bit of technical difficulty when we started recording, so I appreciate your patience. How are you doing? How's
I'm doing
everything there
great.
in Arkansas?
Doing great, Christy. Thanks so much for having me.
You are welcome. Well, I said in my introduction that you have 3 businesses, and I am super curious to know what those businesses are and what made you decide to have more than one business, because having one business is hard. How much more if you have multiple businesses and you also have your own family that you have to take care of. So tell us
Mhm.
about your story, who you are, what are your businesses, and what's your journey like?
Yeah, so I'm a business and sales coach, and I ended up building 3 businesses, and it kind of happened by accident. So, ever since I graduated from college, I was in corporate America, and I worked in corporate for, I can't even remember how long, probably close to 20 years. And I just got to a point where I wanted to have freedom of my schedule, and I did not want to have a ceiling on my income. Throughout my corporate career, and I won't bore you with all the details, but I ran into things that everybody else runs into: a toxic boss, or toxic coworkers, or a job that's just not quite the right fit. There's a ceiling on your income, or if you're in a commission structure, they want to mess around with it and then there's a ceiling on your income again, So there's just all these things started happening. And I thought, you know what? I really want to build my own business. I want to have control over my income as much as possible and control over my time. So the first business I built was close to 7 years ago, and it's in network marketing. It's a skincare company, and I still have it. I just don't promote it, and I'm not actively building it anymore. What I'm doing is just taking care of my awesome clients. It's a great extra stream of income for us. But through building that business, I was continually asked to do trainings for the team and the larger teams. And, could you speak about sales? Could you speak about marketing? Could you speak about how you've been successful with, different facets of the business? And so through that, I realized how much I truly love helping other people build their businesses. That was the part that really lit me up. And through some really good friends, when I did finally have my fill of corporate America, and I was like, this is it, I'm quitting. I don't know what I'm going to do. They were like, you should be a business coach because you have close to 20 years of marketing, sales, business growth experience through everything I did in corporate. And that was the part that lit me up. And I thought, that's a really good point. So there's my second business. And the third business happened by accident in the pandemic. It was also another network marketing company, dry nail polish. And a friend of mine sent me some samples and I loved it. And all the nail salons started shutting down, for over a year. And so it just made sense, and accidentally fell into a really great income stream there because the business grew like gangbusters. And I ended up in the top 2% of the company very quickly. And I don't have that business anymore, primarily because I figured out last year that I really wanted to focus the majority of my time and my passion and energy into business and sales coaching. I wanted to take it to a global scale. And in order to do that, I had to be fully intentional and fully focused and have enough white space in my time to be creative. I mean, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If we fill our plates with too many things, then we don't have enough downtime and white space to breathe and allow the universe to bring us those new ideas and those solutions and the creativity and even the marketing messaging that we need to nail in order to reach our clients. Those things get blocked. So that's how I ended up with 3 businesses. I am still a consultant for our local small business administration at our university here in Arkansas, which is very exciting. So, I have multiple streams of income, but my primary focus is my business and sales coaching practice.
Wow, that is awesome. So you mentioned that you want to be fully intentional and focus on what it is that you really want to do. You're very passionate about talking to people and, just listening to them. And that's why you are a business coach right now, because you are, you have that innate personality in you that can just easily listen to people. So how do you make sure that you are intentional in and focused in everything that you do, and making sure that you have that white space on your calendar? Like, what are the practical things that you do, maybe on a daily basis or on a weekly basis?
Yeah, it's all about figuring out what is next for me in my business. Where do I want this business to go? Looking at not only today, maybe next week, the month, but 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line. Because when we get started in business, it can be very overwhelming. There's so many things we don't know. There's so many people building in the online space that it can get really noisy, really fast. And everybody has to find their own way that they want to structure their business, down to the details of, do you want to start a podcast? Yes or no? When do you want to do it? When does that fit into your business model? Do you want to have a blog? Maybe, maybe not. If you want one, when does that fit into your business model? There's some certain things you have to do when you get started in business. You need to do those things immediately, like figuring out what your offers are, figuring out what your messaging is going to be, who you want to serve, what does that client look like. But then having this space comes from not taking on too many things at one time. Because if I tried to do a podcast and a blog and write a book and be a guest on other people's podcasts and, try to do all of those things all at once, I'm not going to do any of them very well. And I'm going to fill up my plate with things. And it's not going to be, in my opinion, I'm not going to be as intentional with things and as focused and clear in order to really nail those. So I now take a very systematic approach to my business. So I do want to add a podcast. Now is not the right time for that. Will it be this year? I hope so, but it's going to be down the line because I have other things ahead of it that I have to focus on and give my priorities to. I have a blog. The nice thing is, though, that it's sort of created on its own through the live content that I already do. Mm-hmm. So I repurpose that content onto the blog. So that's kind of a no-brainer. I do have a plan to write a book. That's in the works. So it's really just picking out the things that you want to do with your business and then figuring out the map of where do those fit in, and not looking at what is your business bestie doing, or what are the people in your mastermind doing, or somebody who's your competition, what are they doing? You've got to look and see what parts fit you and then figure out where they're going to go so you don't try to do them all at once.
I love that. So you have to know what it is that you want to accomplish in your business. And you also have to know when is the right time to do that. So when you know your goals in your business and you know the things that you need to do in order to achieve that goals, then you can write down or make a list of everything that you need to do in order to achieve that goal. And then you can look at your calendar. Okay, my schedule on Monday is this, talk to this, do that. And then you ask yourself, are those tasks going to help me get to where I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the next step that you want to be at, or the goals that you want to achieve. So I really like what you said there. So it's just being very purposeful in everything that you do. You need to ask yourself, like, what is your goal in the next month, quarter, or year? And I love that you said that you shouldn't compare yourself with other business owners, with your friends, with other business coach or influencer online, because you don't really know what they're doing, right? We don't really know what's behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And also we have different business journey.
Yes.
You might be in the rapid growth now, and the other business owner might be in the initial stage of the business. So that person who is still trying to grow the business cannot compare herself to the person who have built his or her business 10 years ago.
Right.
So that's why I really love what you said about asking yourself, what is next for me?
Yes.
So tell me about the challenges and struggles that you dealt with as you were starting your own business. Because I know, I also work in corporate, and I can't say that I can't say that I didn't like my boss. I can't say that the environment is toxic, but it is very true that you don't have control over your salary. You don't have control over what it is that you really want to do. You don't have control over the flexibility of your schedule.
Right.
So, and I'm pretty sure that there are things that you love in corporate world and you hate, and there are also things that you love being an entrepreneur and you hate. Maybe not hate, that's a very strong word. Maybe you didn't like at first, because when you start your own business, you're trying to figure out everything, just like what you mentioned earlier. You try to figure out how to grow your business, what it is that you need to do. So tell me about those struggles that you had.
So when I first started my coaching practice, what's difficult about being an entrepreneur is that, well, there's a lot of things. It's a roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
For sure. And you feel kind of alone, and there's a lot of fear. When you have a 9-to-5 job and you work for somebody else, everything is given to you. You get the job description, you get the name tag, you get the business cards, you get the paycheck, you get a desk, a phone. I mean, you get a parking space, all of it. And all you have to do is show up and they tell you what to do and you do it and you get paid. And when you start a business, none of those things are true.
Yeah, I remember one of the posts that I saw, I think on Instagram. It says, "I quit my 9 to 5 job to become an entrepreneur, and now I work 24 hours," which
Yeah,
is so true, right?
it is. Because even though we might not be working on it, we're thinking about it. At least I am. It's
Yeah, me
hard for
too.
me to shut it off. I get super excited about my clients and I'll be out walking the dog and my assistant, bless her heart, she knows when I'm walking the dog because she'll start to get lots and lots of Voxer messages from me with this idea and that idea. And hey, let's do this and let's do that. And because, all that blood flow with that exercise
Yeah.
gets your creative juices flowing. But even when I'm out, walking the dog or scrolling on Netflix or whatever, I'm still thinking about my clients and I'm still coming up with ideas for them. And I don't know how to shut that off. But,
Yeah.
in the beginning of my business, I had never built an online business. And it is completely different than building a brick and mortar or buying a franchise. I have lots and lots of clients that are local to me that have brick and mortar, that are brick and mortar only, that are or franchises. And they're not in the online space. And that business structure is built in a completely different way than there's some similarities, but the online space is different. Just the technology of the online space, that was a learning curve for me. I had used Zoom a little bit, but not a lot. I had never built a website. I used Kajabi for everything. I knew the name of it because I had purchased courses before, but I certainly had never had my own Kajabi site and filling it up with stuff. I knew about social media, but I did not know how to be effective with social media. I knew the importance of live video, but I didn't know how to be effective with the live video. I knew that I needed to build an email list, but holy cow, how the heck do you do that? And so there was just so many pieces. I knew marketing, I knew sales, I knew business growth, and I knew that I could do it. But even I had things that I needed to learn because building an online business is just different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many moving parts to it. It can feel like you're literally trying to eat an elephant. And it's like, which end do I start at? Does it even matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that?
Piece by piece, step by step, just thinking to myself, who's my idea? Figuring out first, what is it that I'm creating? And it changed a little bit. I in the beginning was really just serving a lot of my local business owners here, and then it turned into now most of my clients are online business owners, coaches, course creators, consultants, and so that's been interesting. I think our businesses evolve over time, and one of the mistakes that I see some people making when they want to build their own business is they want to just be perfect from day one. They want to know exactly who their client is, exactly where to find them. They want to make the perfect offer. They want to have the perfect social media posts. And that's just not realistic.
There's no such thing as perfect.
No, you're going to make some mistakes. I go back and look at some of the live videos that I did, or oh gosh, when I first started in live video, let me tell you how funny it was. I thought I had to be perfect. I thought I needed to be anchor woman news perfect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hair, makeup, outfit, all the things, lighting, and my words. And if I stumbled over something that people were going to be mortified. Oh my God, it was so boring. I go back and watch those and I'm like, who the heck was that? So, but over time, I found my groove and I realized that the people that follow me because it's me.
Yeah. They want to
Because
see the real you.
I do screw up. I do stumble over my words. I was in the middle of a live video one day and I'm the only one home. And our dog decided he needed to go outside right then, like he wasn't taking no for an answer. I literally had to say, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I've got to let the dog out. Ran to let the dog out, come back. And sure as the world, he finishes up and he's like, okay, now I want back in. And he's not going to wait for him. I'm like, one more time. Let me go and I thought, oh my God, nobody's going to want to follow me. Everybody's going to think I'm an idiot. And what it turned out was that was one of my most popular videos ever, because they were all like, oh my gosh, I can totally relate. I work from home and the doorbell will ring, or, my husband will schedule pest control to come by in the middle of the day. And I'm like, I have clients. What is happening?
Yeah.
So,
that is true story. Our lives, it's not perfect.
no, it can't be. And
Yeah.
nobody likes perfect.
No, yeah.
No, I want the real person.
Yeah.
What I found was, by being myself, people could tell who I really was. They could see my heart. They could hear the warmth in my voice. They knew that I really cared about them. And by me not being perfect, it made me more approachable.
Yeah, that's true. There was one time when I was creating an online training for a group of women entrepreneurs. So I filmed a video on how to hire a virtual assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to to an online course coach, like a video creator coach. I asked her, so should I script? Because I have a teleprompter, I have a camera, like I am complete with all the technologies that I need, with all the equipments that I need in order to film myself. And I said, should I script? I have teleprompter, or should I just do it, spontaneously?
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, well, why don't you do both and see which one you like? And then I did both. And then I watched the video where I was reading a script. I was like, this is not me. Like, I was like a robot. Like, I wasn't even moving my hands. I'm so focused on following the script,
Right.
and I was like, and I know myself, I have a personality. I know that I'm fun. I can be silly at times, and you can just, if you just know me personally and you watch the video, you're gonna be like, Christy, this isn't you. And so I realized I have to get over I have to get over my fear of being judged, because I am not from the States. English is not my first language, and I thought if I am gonna read a script, my English is going to be perfect, 100%. And when I do it spontaneously, there are times that I think too fast and I stutter, and sometimes I tend to talk really fast and I forget to talk word per word.
Mm-hmm.
Like if, for instance, if I say, hey Tracy, you look really awesome today, and if I just do that spontaneously, I will forget one of the words that I need to say, or I should say, I would probably just say, hey Tracy, you beautiful today. I will forget the word look, because I'm thinking too fast. I want to move on to my next sentence. So that's how my mind works, and now I
Right.
need to realize, I need to remind myself that, hey, that's okay. People are gonna understand. You live in the Philippines your entire life, and
Mm-hmm.
it's different. What people want to see is your personality, and
Yes.
just seeing the real you, that's gonna attract them to you.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that. You had that realization as well, that especially now that you are a business coach,
Mhm.
it's different, because you are going to pass on whatever you have learned, to other
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, and
Right. Well,
we cannot.
I have a lot of clients, and I recommend live video for them. And a lot of them are like, I can't do that. And I'm like, oh yes, you can.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, am I the only one who's feeling this way, not being comfortable showing up live because I'm not from the
No.
States, and I was like, oh, other people have the same
People
fears.
from the
So
States who have been speaking
yeah.
English since birth don't want to do it. Chrissy. I mean, truly, public speaking is more frightening for people than death. That is a statistic. It's proven. And so I mean, like if you said to me, I can speak in front of, and that's the funny part. Public speaking's never been a problem for me. I can stand in front of a room of 10 people, a room of 600 people. It doesn't matter. I can talk. No big deal. but live video was still different. And it doesn't make any sense. I can't comprehend why, but everybody struggles with live video. And I think it's just because they're afraid they have to be perfect, and then it's not going to be perfect, and they're going to stumble over their words and stuff like that. But
yeah, that's true. And I think that's okay.
it is okay.
If you mess up, then you mess up. Okay. You learn the next time, right?
I hope it's okay, because that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah. Imperfection is okay. Nobody's perfect anyway.
Are you sick and tired of being overwhelmed and afraid you'll never scale your business? Meet Smart VAs. Unlike many virtual assistant agencies that only assign one dedicated virtual assistant, we provide flexibility for growing businesses by assigning a team of experienced virtual assistants that can do different tasks to support your continuous growth. Visit smartvas.online to book a free discovery call and start growing your business.
So you mentioned earlier that you have an assistant. Tell me about your assistant.
Yes, and I love your podcast title, because I feel like I'm a master delegator, and I have been almost my whole life. I don't believe that any of us should try to do everything on our own. I just think that's just insane to me. And I did not have an assistant when I first started out. I found her last summer through some local channels. She's here local to me, and we ended up being friends in a different capacity. And then I needed somebody to help with my social media and some different tasks that I needed to get off my plate in order to create that white space that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I have lots of clients that are hesitant to delegate for various reasons. And I'm always the champion that says, okay, let's talk about these reasons why you're not delegating, because it's blocking you from your success. So my assistant, Jill, she's amazing.
Hi, Jill. Thanks for doing your work so great for Tracy.
She does a great job. She helps me with my Facebook group. She helps organize the content for it weekly. And she creates a lot of my social media graphics. The subject matter is still mine. The content is still mine, but she takes my ideas and turns them into graphics and things that we can use on Instagram. If you look at my Instagram, that's Jill. I do the live video and I'll do reels. That's me. But, and the words on the captions, those are me. But the graphics and things like that, that's Jill. And she keeps everything flowing. She also helps me if there are people that are reaching out to me that want to set appointments, or they have questions in the DMs. She'll hop in and say, hey, this is Jill. Tracy will get with you as soon as she can. Just wanted to let you know we didn't forget about you.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think of what else she helps me with. It feels like you being from the Philippines, you may not be familiar with this show, the Lucille Ball Show.
No.
Okay, so Lucille Ball was a comedian way back, and she had her sidekick best friend was named Ethel. So Lucy and Ethel, kind of like Thelma and Louise. And so she's the Ethel to my Lucy. And I feel like we share a brain most times, because I'll say, I've got this idea, I don't know how to execute it, tell me what you think, does this stink, how can we make it better? And so I'll throw an idea at her, and we'll pitch and catch back and forth, and she'll end up making it into something great.
That is so awesome. And I love that you get her inputs on things, you get her insights, instead of just telling her what to do. And I think that is very important, that we learn how to trust our assistants or team members, and make sure that they also have the freedom to voice out whatever it is that they think is good for your business, or even for you personally. So when was the point where you realized, at what point did you realize that you needed an assistant?
So I just couldn't do all the things unless I wanted to work 15-hour days and not see my family.
Oh, that's hard.
It's terrible. That's not why I started the business in the first place.
No, yeah.
I wanted to create some online courses. I wanted to create a group coaching program. I wanted to take on more one-to-one clients. and there's only so many hours in the day. And I thought to myself, as I say, I've always been good at delegation. And so what I encourage my clients to do is what I do when I'm thinking about delegating. Is there something that I don't like doing?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that I'm pretty good at, but not great at, but somebody else would be great at? What is it that's taking up my day? Does it have to be done by me? Does it have to be done right now? That's one of the things that I help people with in terms of time management and creating a schedule that serves them rather than them serving their schedule. And what we look at is, what are you doing every day? And does it have to be done by you? Because I work with a lot of CEOs, and some of them are doing things I'm sorry, CEOs don't do that. They hire people to go help them and assist them do those smaller tasks so that they can be present and focused on the larger things that they really need to be spending their time on.
That's
so
true.
I realized I needed her when my days were just full and I was not happy. I was like, this is not why I built my business.
That's true. I had that realization as well. Like the main reason why I started my own business is to spend more time with my husband and, have that flexibility to work whenever I want and have a stable income. So you hired Jill last summer. So it's going to be, so is it a year now? Almost. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be almost a year now. How did that affect your revenue?
It did not affect my revenue nearly as much as I thought it would. I was afraid. And that's the reason why a lot of my clients won't hire out, is because they're like, well, it's going to cut into my bottom line. It's going to come into my revenue. And that is true on the face of it and maybe in the beginning of it. But what ended up happening is what I hope that my clients will see. And I think you know exactly what I'm going to say next. When I got those things off my plate, and when I freed up some time to actually take a walk with the dog or go sit and eat lunch outside on my patio rather than scarfing it down at the kitchen counter, my brain was able to settle and be more creative. I had space to breathe. And for me, I believe that it allowed the universe to bring me more of what I needed to be doing, which was more clients. So I was able to take on more clients. I was able to create the course and the content and do the launch that brought me more income. So in the beginning, yes, I was paying her, but I have exceeded by being able to bring on more, make more money, because I'm not doing those things. I more than cover what I do, what I need to pay for Jill. And I also have a VA that does my tech, that does my Kajabi stuff, because that's something that I could do it, but it would take me hours. And to me, it's a better investment to have, her name's Mandy. She's amazing. She's in Canada. And I just tell Mandy, hey, this is my big idea. What do you think? And she says, okay, yes, we can make it work in this way. These are the pieces that I need. Awesome. And the nice thing about her is, if there is something that I do have time to do or want to try to figure out on my own, she'll walk me through how to do it. But most of the time it's me with my big idea and my content going, hey, here it is. Plug it in, make it look good.
Yeah, it just feels so good having, a support system.
Right.
Knowing that when you want to do something, you're not the only one who's going to run it. You're not the only one who's going to do it. It's like, if you suffer, somebody suffers with you as well, kind of like that. So when you hired a virtual assistant or an assistant, it did not really affect your budget, your business budget that much. But in return, you were able to do a lot of things, like taking care of your mental health and taking on more clients. And so from last summer, like, can you just an estimate, how much percentage did your business grow?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have not even thought about that.
But I'm sure it has grown, right? Like 5%, 10%.
For sure. More than that.
Yeah.
More than that. Yeah, I don't know an exact number, but my guess would be probably more like 30 to 40%.
Yeah, because my experience is when I hired a virtual assistant, after 3 months, I
Mm-hmm.
grew I was able to grow my business 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I only hired one virtual assistant during that time. How much more
Yeah.
if I have a lot of virtual assistants? And
Right.
I have 75 team members now in my team, and but of
Mhm.
course they're not my personal virtual assistants.
Right.
Those 75 virtual assistants are working for our other clients. But just think about it, if I was able to grow my business 10 times after 3 months with just one virtual assistant, if you have a lot of virtual assistant, I don't know what's going to happen. It's like you're going to blow
Exactly.
your business.
Right.
Yeah. All
Right.
right. So, what would you say to, since you're a business coach, like
Mhm.
what do you normally say to your clients if they are not ready to delegate yet?
We talk through it. I ask them, okay, let's walk through this. Let's just say what if you were to hire a VA? Let's pick out these tasks. Okay, so we've got X, Y, and Z tasks on your list, and we're going to take those off your plate, and we're going to pretend that you've hired this VA over here. How much do you think it's going to take? How many hours do you think it would be? And how much per hour do you want to pay? What can you afford for the VA? So we walk through that. Okay, so we've taken those things off the plate. It's going to be, let's say it's $400 a month. I don't know, just tossing a number out there. Maybe they give them 5 hours a week of work at, $20 an hour. I don't even know what the going rate is on VAs. I know what I pay Mandy and Jill, but I know everybody charges a different rate.
Yeah.
So we'll just say $20 an hour. So that's $400 a month. What I want to look at then is how can we get you $400 a month more in revenue to more than pay for that person? That's where I'm looking. I'm looking at what are your offers? What can we add on now that you don't have those tasks in your way anymore? And you don't have those bogging up your brain and sucking all your creativity out. Can you take on one more client with that extra time? Could you, or if they have a health goal, let's say they've been running themselves ragged. We talked about the mental health piece and the physical health piece.
Mm-hmm.
If we as business owners don't take care of ourselves, we're not going to have a business for very long because we're it. This is it.
Yep.
And so if I have a client who is so stressed out and mentally just on the verge of burnout, then immediately you have to make a $400 investment in yourself.
Yeah.
And let's calm this situation down. Let's get you some space to breathe. Then we can talk about how you can take on another client or more than make up for that outlay of cash.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're taking $400 and spending it on a designer belt or shoes or handbag or something. You're taking $400 and investing it back into your business, which is also a business expense.
Yeah, it's a business expense, and at the same time an investment for your business and for yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just going to Starbucks every day, $5 a day,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's not actually $5 anymore. It's $7.
No, it's
oh my
expensive.
gosh, it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just imagine $7 a day times 30. How much is that? $350.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can use that for your VA already. So
Right.
it is, I think it's just mind setting, that instead of thinking that, oh, it is an expense, I am not gonna have an ROI after hiring an assistant. I think the mindset should be it is an investment for me, for my business, and for my family, because you're gonna be able to spend a lot of time with your family.
Right.
Yeah. So anything else, any wisdom that you want to share with business owners, with my audience, entrepreneurs?
Well, I want to go back to that one piece that I was talking about when I'm working with someone to help them get control of their schedule so that their schedule serves them rather than the other way around. I do want your listeners to think, okay, what is it that's popped up in front of me? Does it have to be done by me? Does it have to be done right now? Because chances are it doesn't have to be done by you. You can find somebody to delegate that to for free or low cost.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. All right. Well, Tracy, this has been a very great interview. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
will
Thank
give
you.
You're welcome. I will give you, a little bit, maybe just a little bit of time, because I appreciate everything that you share. I'll give you, some time to um pitch your business, or offer what you are offering to your clients?
Sure, thank you. So if someone wants to connect with me, they can go to tracybeavers.com and just hit the contact me button. I have an awesome free resource that will help free up time for people. When we were talking about social media content and how enormous it can feel, I created a free video and guide that is my strategy that Jill and I use when it comes to creating social media content. And you can create 90 days of social media content topics in only 30 minutes. And if they
Nice.
want to grab that, they can go to tracybeavers.com/social and grab that free video and guide. Um, Literally walk through it in about 30 minutes, and you will have a fresh perspective on how to make this easy. I'm all about building business with ease. I know you are too.
Yeah.
I don't like the hustle and grind mentality. I can't do that. That's too hard on me. Hard on my health, hard on my heart. And I don't think it's healthy for us to do it. So grab that guide and make your social media content life much, much easier.
Yay. I'm gonna put those links in the show notes. Well, thank you again so much for your time,
Yes,
Tracy.
thank you for having me,
Have a
Christy. I
great
appreciate it.
day.